I'm going to guess that you're like most traditional B2B businesses. You rely on referrals, you rely on word of mouth, you post a little bit of content here and there, and you might be doing a little bit of cold email and cold outreach on LinkedIn. And that's great. You're doing a good job. I mean, most of the B2B businesses that we talk to are doing very well. They're making multiple millions, but they have slow, outdated systems and they're missing out on the AI gold rush. And the reality is that if you can implement some AI in your business, you could probably scale all of your operations and end up with way, way more profit because AI costs less than employing somebody. And I'm not someone that says you need to get rid of all your employees, but I'm just giving you the real deal here. And here's the thing. I think referrals is great. It's a good sign that your business is doing well, but it's not sustainable. And it's also not very stable because you can't really rely on business based on someone else telling somebody about you. And what happens is you end up relying on referrals, which means that you're waiting on business rather than driving your business. And there's no KPIs here. There's nothing that we can aim for when it comes to referrals. Obviously, we can hope to try and get 1 or 2 referrals a month. But when you use the power of AI, you can now begin to forecast your success. So I'm going to break down why you should be using AI in your business today and what to do if you're not sure where to get started. So the obvious thing here is AI can pretty much do all of your outreach. You probably already have a team doing outreach. It might be cold email and it might be messages on LinkedIn. Those are the 2 pathways that I see most people take. But the one thing that they're missing out is, well, it's not hyper personalized because they're not able to do that at scale. It's quite difficult. I've tried doing the whole, send Loom videos and all that kind of stuff. And it is difficult. So if you're a B2B business, the truth is that using AI, you can scale your outreach and still keep it hyper personalized. Now, we're working with a major finance business doing multiple millions. They got an office right outside of Bank train station. So that's the financial district of London. And we basically implemented an AI outreach agent. This AI outreach agent specifically searches and scrapes the exact ICP they're going for. And they work in like the lending and finance space. And essentially what it does is it goes on someone's LinkedIn profile. It looks at their company URL, their company overview, the person's bio, the person's job, the person's headline, even the jobs that they had and some of their most recent posts. And then the AI agent will send a hyper personalized first message followed by a voice note. It's very simple and it makes the most sense. And the reason that we do this is because essentially the voice note is like a pattern interrupt, and the first message, it captures people's attention because most people are just so used to getting spammed on LinkedIn that when someone says something genuine, they're like, oh, okay, you actually took the time to look at my profile and see if I'm a human being and you didn't just send me like some spammy message. So you're already doing something that most people can't do. The benefit now is AI enables you to scale your outreach by doing it consistently. And this is something that most people are missing out on. They just don't know how to do this or, what can be done. So that's the basics of it. Now, the benefit of using AI is that it works 24 hours a day. If you've ever hired a virtual assistant or appointment setters, they're human beings. We get tired. We need sleep. We want extra pay. We want sick pay. We want holiday pay. We want pay for everything. AI doesn't matter. You pay for the AI and it just works. It doesn't stop. It doesn't sleep. And that's one of the major benefits of doing it because now every day someone new is learning about you. And the benefit of using it for something like LinkedIn is we can do a real deep dive search on who we want to target. We message them using the AI. We scrape all their data. And if possible, we can actually get their emails and phone numbers. And then what we do is we then send out an AI generated email. And this is not breaking any GDPR laws because that person's email is publicly available. It's going to be on their social media profile. And then from there, we're now creating as many genuine conversations as possible with our ideal client avatar. And that's really the key. The thing is, you don't need to kind of rely on your calendar being busy. It's just running in the background like clockwork. And that's really what it needs to be. Because if it's like that, you don't have to worry anymore. You don't have to think about, when are the leads coming in? The leads are always coming in. The only way to make this successful is like understanding that it's not about sending like a million spammy cold messages. It's about smart targeting. So your targeting at the start is very, very key. And one of the components to growth with this is to scale with multiple accounts, especially when we primarily use LinkedIn. So usually the founders that we work with have team members. If you've got 2 or 3 team members, you can utilize their social media accounts, specifically LinkedIn, which means that it scales your growth. So one LinkedIn profile with Sales Navigator can add about 200 people a week. So if you've got 3 profiles, you can add 600 people a week. We expect about a 40% acceptance rate. So that would be 240 new people per week get a first message and a voice note. I expect at the lowest end, 25% of those people to pretty much respond. So that would be 60 new people responding. And then ideally, if you have a good conversation flow, I would be hoping that I can book about 10% of those people. So we'd be aiming for about 6 calls booked a week. Now, if you're doing that, plus you've got ads and you can scale your LinkedIn team, depending on what your closing rate is and how much you charge, like your profits are going to be crazy. So keeping it simple is really the key. Now, the next part of this process is very, very important because, have you ever been on those calls 5 minutes in you know the person is just not going to buy. I've been there, and you're still going to sit through it anyway because you're a nice person. You're not going to cut them off. The thing is, we're spending too much time talking to the wrong people. And I see so many founders get stuck doing that. They get stuck just on sales calls with loads of people, especially if they run paid ads, but they're just talking to the wrong people. Now, this is where AI can come in and change the game. What we've built is an AI filtration service. And what it does is this agent basically goes in and filters your leads to make sure that you only get on the phone with leads that are actually worth your time. Because if someone's only making £20 a month, they can't afford your 5 or 10 grand or 15 grand service. It doesn't make sense. So let me give you a rundown of how it works. Step one is you've got leads. Right? You get leads, whatever way you drive traffic, whether it's ads, whether it's cold outreach, got leads. Then you have conversations with those leads. But instead, we let the AI have the conversation with those leads. This works especially well when you are running paid ads, right? And then we train the AI based on our criteria for what a qualified lead is. Once the AI does have that conversation and it's back and forth and it's a genuine conversation, the AI will either tell the lead, hey, you don't fit our services, but you can try this. Or it will say, you do fit our services. Are you up for a call in the next couple of days? And it will send them the sales call link and we'll get on a call. So that's how we use AI to basically filter all the dead leads. Because trust me, especially those of you that have run paid ads, you know what I'm talking about when I say dead leads. Now, let me ask you this. How many times have you had a great chat with a potential client? They said they're going to pay. They said they're going to do the deposit. And all of a sudden they disappear. You do not hear from them again. Trust me, I've been there. So don't feel bad. It's about juggling delivery, meetings, client fulfillment work. I get it. But this is again where AI comes in and changes the game for you, because you can build an AI re-engagement agent, and we've actually built one. And I will show you guys this in another video because it was quite an extensive build, but it's quite easy to build. So don't get it twisted. It was extensive, but it's easy. And anyone can do it. You can do it. You founders can do it. Your tech team can do it. And what it does is this. You get a lead. You have a conversation. They don't buy it, or they ignore you, or they don't respond. They said they were going to buy, they don't respond. Cool, that's great. When any of these events take place, my re-engagement agent is triggered, and the re-engagement agent will literally track the lead for about 20 to 30 days, see how many touch points we've had with it in the last 30 days, and then start to send some personalized follow-ups. These follow-ups are very, 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 very light, but they are very, very personalized based on all the data from the previous call that you had with that lead. And this AI agent is only built to try and re-engage all the leads, okay? That's its sole purpose. It doesn't have any other purpose on this earth apart from doing that. Now, the last rule point here is like running ads kind of feels like you've brought a billboard to Piccadilly Circus and hope that the dream client's going to find you, because everyone is running ads. So it doesn't mean you shouldn't run ads, but everyone's running ads. And yeah, you can get an ad that gets clicks, but the main thing, and this is the number one thing, is how many people actually need your service and how many people are ready to buy your service. Those are the only two metrics I give a crap about, because on my ads, that's what matters. And for you, the number one thing is really how many sales you make. But if you are going to be managing your own ad account, also it's important that you understand, okay, this is what's happening. This is what's taking place. And you need to ensure you're only getting quality leads each time. And ads are getting expensive. Platforms like Meta, it's just more and more expensive. So with AI outreach, you're going directly to who you want to target and who you want to talk to, rather than letting the AI system within Meta try and do it for you, which it can't even do. You're better off kind of making sure you get your outreach correct. You're getting the leads through your business and it's coming out correctly. And then you can then grow on Facebook Meta, or you do it vice versa. But for me, I like to go down the route of making sure my cold outreach messages are correct, people are responding, and then we put that cold outreach message into a script for the video, basically. And then that's kind of how we get into the point of, you know, we can probably scale this, we can probably make more money from this. And I know it sounds difficult. It's not. It's quite easy. Having the right systems is very, very easy. It's just about knowing what to do and how to do it. And the benefit is that, you know, that's exactly what we do. However, I want to train you on how to do it yourself. So all you got to do is watch this little video right here. It explains exactly how you can now use AI to create a easy content system and blow up your business. Peace.